What would I like to do before I die? I would like to scatter my litter in all 50 states of America. And I'd like to go up to Canada and I'd like to scatter my litter in every one of their provinces. That's what I'd like to do. A while back I went up to Montreal, and it is my solemn opinion that Canadians are in some ways more noble than Americans. I think they're on average smarter and more cultured and more hospitable and more virtuous and more friendly than Americans. And I went up there and I enjoyed the sights and sounds of Montreal, and I enjoyed those people's hospitality. And then I proceeded to scatter my trash all over that beautiful city. And as I drove back to America, it was still dark out, and I scattered my trash across the Quebec countryside. And when that last tin can, it was a can of Diet Pepsi, hit the asphalt and bounced into the tundra, I thought I'd be filled with a feeling of deep satisfaction, that the feeling that I'd made an entire country my trash bitch. But that wasn't what happened. I was surprised to be overtaken with a sense of spiritual wonder, and I felt a kinship with all things Canadian. I felt a kinship to all the Canadian soldiers who died fighting in wars we don't even learn about in America, against people we never even fought. I felt a kinship for all the Canadians who died from eating fatty foods. I felt a kinship for all the Canadians, with all the Canadians who died on the frozen tundra, frozen, solid, like a block of ice. And I felt a kinship to all the Canadians who died of cirrhosis of the liver. And I rolled down my window and let the cold Quebec air fill the cab of my automobile, and I wanted to breathe every bit of air that was Canadian. And I felt an overwhelming sense of not just empowerment, but of calm, deep calm. And before I left Canada, I yelled out the window. Of course nobody heard it, but I yelled it anyway, and maybe one of the moose heard it, or a caribou, or a wolverine, or a loon. And I yelled, "Ich bin auch ein Canadian." I too am a Canadian.